Dear students, welcome to the second part of the research proposal series. I hope all of you are safe and sound for the moment. Now, before going into the main part of today's video, I just want to start by showing you the different parts of a research proposal once again. Now, here are the main parts of a research proposal. Alright, before we start, just hold on a second. Yes. So, in the previous video, we discussed how to decide on a title of the research project, right? Now, in today's video, we are going to focus on the fourth part of a research proposal, which is research question, broad objective, and specific objectives, right? Now, as you can see here, we have skipped points 2 and 3. Do not worry about that at all. We will come back to these 2 points later on. For your ease of understanding, it's better if we discuss part 4 before discussing part 2 and 3. Now, in today's video, we are going to discuss two main issues. Number one, what is a research question? And number two, what is a broad objective? Alright, moving on to my first point. What is a research question? How do we write a research question? Now, before I start defining this point, please take a note. When you hear the definition first, it might seem a little bit confusing to you, but do not worry once again. Right after the definition, when I give you the examples of real-life research questions, real-life broad objectives, the concept will be crystal clear to you. So you just have to wait for the examples. After that, it will be all easy to you. Okay, let's start. Now, a research question is the main question that a researcher is trying to answer. Okay? When you start your own research, you will be working as a researcher. Fancy stuff, right? Now, when doing your research, whatever the main question is that you are trying to solve or trying to find an answer to is called the research question. Do not worry if it's not clear to you yet. Let's move on to the examples. From the last video, if you remember, I said that I'm going to explain everything using two research topics in every class, right? So the first topic of the study was a study on the change in cooking patterns during the lockdown period. Remember? So what might be a research question for this topic? As a researcher in this research topic, what is the main question that I am trying to answer? Now, the research question for this topic might be something like this. How have people's cooking habits changed in the family during the lockdown period? So this is the main question that I am trying to solve or trying to find an answer to when doing my 3-month long research project, right? Now moving on to the next example. My second research topic was this, Generation Z and its digital media consumption patterns. Now I'm going to show you what a research question might be for this topic as well. Now, by reading this topic, what do you think a research question might be for this case? What is the main question that I am trying to solve or trying to find an answer to by doing a research on this topic? Now, before revealing my research question for this topic, I want to give you 30 seconds to think about what the answer might be. What might be a possible research question for this topic? All right? So your 30 seconds starts now. All right, your time is up. I'm sure all of you have successfully come up with your own research questions for this research topic, right? Now, before I reveal my answer, please take note that my research question can be very different from yours. There is no one single answer to this. It is not something like the research topic has only one correct research question. It might vary from person to person. All right. So here goes mine. What type of online content is consumed by the Generation Z cohort, right? So this is the main question I am trying to solve by doing my research project. So just to summarize, a research question is the main question that you are trying to answer or trying to solve in your research project. So that is the main takeaway. Now I have a take-home task for you. I'm sorry, I know you are loaded with work, but it's a very small task. What you have to do is you have to write down one research question for your own research project. Okay? This is a group task. So discuss with your group members and as a group, come up with one research question for your research project. The one that you are going to work on in this semester. Now, all the members of the same group will write down the same research question as their answers. So we are done with research question. Let's move on to broad objective. What is a broad objective? Again, I am going to provide you with the definition first, and then I'm going to explain the concept with examples. So here goes the formal definition. Broad objective is the main objective of doing your research project. This is the main objective or purpose of conducting your research work. Again, do not worry if you are confused right now. I will provide the examples very soon. Now, this broad objective is also called the research aim of a research project. Let me explain the concept a little bit differently. When you are back in your school days, I'm sure many of your relatives or even teachers ask you, what is your aim in life, right? This is a very common question. So, some of you maybe wanted to be a doctor or maybe a pilot. Maybe some of you wanted to be a Batman, right? And maybe kids these days want to be the Dragon Queen, right? So that was our aim in life right at that point in time. That was the main objective of our life, to be doctors, to be Batman, to be Dragon Queen, right? Similarly, our main objective of the research is something like that. It is the main objective or main aim of our research. Again, I will explain it with examples very soon. Now, before starting with the examples, I must say this one first. For every research, there is usually one broad objective, not more than that, okay? So your research will have one objective just like your aim in life. I mean, think of it like this. When you had to write about your aim in life when you were a kid, usually you got to choose or write about one option, either a doctor or a Batman or Dragon Queen, right? Although being a Batman who can also control the dragons would be a really cool thing, right? Alright, so usually there is one broad objective. Now, there is an easy trick to write a broad objective. And for that, we need to just follow a two-step process. It's as simple as that. So first, what you have to do is look at your research question. Second, convert the interrogative sentence of your research question into an assertive sentence. Again, convert your research question into an assertive sentence or a regular statement. Let me explain. Your research question is always in a question format, right? It has a question mark at the end. Now, all you have to do is convert this question into an assertive sentence. That means something without a question mark. And then you are done. Now, let me explain everything step by step with the examples. So, our first research question was, how have people's cooking habits changed in the family during the lockdown period? Right. So our first step is to look at the research question. So we have already done that. Second task is to convert this question into a statement or an assertive sentence, right? So something without the question mark. So the broad objective of this study might look something like this. The broad objective of the study is to find out the change in cooking habits in the family during the lockdown period. See what I did there? Both the research question and the broad objective are saying the exact same thing. The only difference is that one of them is written as a question and the other one is written as a statement or an assertive sentence without the question mark at the end. That's the only difference. So by now, I guess it's clear what do I mean when I said broad objective and what do I mean when I say research questions. Okay, let's move on to the next example. So there is this research question. What type of online content is consumed by the Generation Z cohort? Now, before I reveal my answer, I would again ask you to find out your own. What might be the broad objective for this research question? I'm giving you 30 seconds again, and your time starts now. Your time is up. So now let me reveal the answer to this research question. Again, I'm going step by step in this case. First, we need to look at the research question. So here is the research question. Now, in the second step, all we have to do is get rid of this question mark. So we have to convert this interrogative sentence or the question into an assertive sentence or something without the question mark. So the broad objective of this research might read something like this. The broad objective of the study is to identify the types of online content consumed by the Generation Z cohort. See, that's really easy. You just have to get rid of this question mark, okay? So convert this question into a simple statement or an assertive sentence. So till now, we have gone through research question and we have seen broad objective. And the only difference between the two is one is in a question format and the other is in a simple statement or an assertive sentence format. Now, I have another task for you. So this time you have to write down a broad objective for your own research project. So convert the research question you wrote earlier to a simple statement or an assertive sentence. So that will be your broad objective. So the purpose of this video is done. We have learned what a research objective is. We have learned what a broad objective is. Now in the next video, we are going to see what is a specific objective and how to write specific objectives. So thank you for listening to this lecture. See you very soon in the upcoming video.